this faculty, we're going to be looking at a very important issue that has bedeviled the nation's security architecture in the last couple of decades. Most importantly, we're looking at the removal of police escorts from VIPs. Is it a reality or a myth? Most relevant issues being raised on this issue goes back to over 30 years ago incidentally in the inception of this democratic dispensation, the Third Republic. We have seen times issues being raised about the proliferation of police escorts, misuse of police escorts, and of course, the debasing of the security architecture of our wonderful and great nation, Nigeria, vis-a-vis utilizing the escorts that are being given to politicians and other VIPs. The issue of state creation comes into view as well. All that are going to be put into perspective this afternoon by my college of panelists, well loaded. To my far left, I have a very much interesting veteran in this discourse, the person of Comrade Ebejon Gojo. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
And of course, close to him, you have Comrade Henry Wanze. Welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mash. I'm glad to be here again at the faculty.
And of course, Comrade Jude Agbeke, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes, we're looking at a very serious issue, the issue of removal of police escort from VIPs. I like the acronym VIPs, very important personalities. But then, VIPs, as the case may be, encompasses not just the political class, the wealthy, the Yahoo boys, the church pastors, you name it. Now, let's look at the critique. Removal of police VIPs. This time, the pronouncement was from the Commander-in-Chief. The Inspector General of Police before now came to say that, yes, it was difficult for them before now to implement the policy, that because it was coming from the various Inspector Generals of Police, but this time it's for the Commander-in-Chief. I start with you, Ebejon. How realistic is this removal of police escorts from VIP?
Thank you very much, Michelle. Good afternoon. Well, I will tell you that the removal of the police from VIP convoys is one of the best things that happened to this country in recent time, because to me it's a reality. Why I say the best? Because it's a step in combating insecurity in this country, to my view. Why I say so is that, first of all, ask who are the VIPs? If you look at the police constitution, is it the 2020 amendment? Before now, every IG will come and say, announcing the removal of VIP, of police escort from VIP. The next thing they will continue, because it was no uniform. Why some states will implement it, some states will not implement it. Secondly, why some will just rascal, by the time they receive one or two calls, they relax it. But now it's coming from the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's not expected that the Inspector General of Police will implement this. Then now come, who are supposed to be the VIPs? When you say VIP, I believe it's apart from the President, the VP, the Senate President, Deputy Senate President, the Speaker, there may be governors and deputy. There's no other person that's entitled to this. But you go to church itself, even the religious leaders that will preach to you that God is your protector, they have police protecting them, army protecting them, and they are telling you, the common man, that your protector is the God. They that you look up to are not open on God to protect them. They look at police escort. Yahoo boy will make money and wants to go to his village or want to go and show off. They will pay police, they will send the escort. It's abuse. The police exists for the public, not for individuals, not to stand by as a guide. So all these are errors. Now look at the good part of it. Removing this police escort from these supposed VIPs will now make them to have sense to do the right thing. Let me tell you, if you are doing the right thing, you won't be fear of escort. Let me just bring you down to our data set here. Take your commissioner for information. Since I've known him, I've not seen him with one police escort in his convoy. I'm not saying it's best to. Are you getting me?
Most of them, Commissioner.
In Lagos State, I lived in Lagos for many years. I lived in Lagos for many years. Sometimes we see our governor going to, then Governor Fashola, going to inspect road on his own bike, power bike. No escort, just like that. If you are doing the right thing, you need the police escort. Today you see even some vice chancellor, Yahoo boys,
councillor, local government chairman.
Once you can just pay 30,000 naira to buy beer for police. They've messed the police. The police no longer the police that we used to know.
Okay, the police no longer the police that we used to know. Comrade Henry Wanze, let's get your opinion.
It's a crying shame. As I always say, Nigeria is a comedy of errors.
I love that.
The commercialization, as it were, of the bazaar of hiring police to supposed VIPs did not just start today. I think the bastardization of the Nigerian police started during the military era. That was when the police itself lost, its outlook, as it were, which is internal security to maintain, public order and all that. November 24, 2025, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, issued that directive that all police personnel be withdrawn. That on the 26th of November 2025, he also ordered that about 20,000 police personnel be recruited to be able to cushion the effect of the shortfall in terms of the police numbers. Now, I must tell you this, we have a population of about 200 million, as he says, and the United Nations standard is supposed to be one police officer to about 400 citizens. What we have is about one police officer to about 700 to 1,000 citizens presently. Because of the shortfall we have about 370,000 to 400,000 police personnel. That is itself a problem. Now, permit me not to be so optimistic or happy, just like my colleague said here about this removal, because this is not the first time. Whether it's coming from the Commander-in-Chief, whether it's coming from the IGP, this has happened within this Fourth Republic more than 10 times. I'll give you a historical view. In 2003, it was the late Mustafa Tafa Balogun who issued that directive as Inspector General of Police. Within 1 month, it was reversed. In August of 2009, it was the turn of IGP Ogbonnaya Onovo. Same story. February of 2012, it was the turn of Inspector Hafiz Rijim. March of 2016, it was the turn of the Acting Inspector General Solomon Arasa, the late Solomon Arasa. March 2018, we also have that situation of Mohammed Abubakar giving the same directive. Fast forward to October 2020, it was the turn of Ibrahim Idris as Inspector General of Police. Same story, same thing. Now, June 2023, the current IGP of Police, Kayode Ogbetukun, then was Acting Inspector General of Police, gave the directive that the police mobile force be withdrawn from VIPs. July of the same 2023 reaffirmed it. Nothing seriously happened. April 2025, this year, the same thing directive came before we had this current directive. Same problem. And what has also been the problem? There's this call that the Special Protection Unit of the Nigerian Police that is supposed to be responsible for administering these approvals and redeployment or deployment of police personnel are carrying out that business as usual attitude and nothing happens. Because we have individuals who are more powerful than the system, the institution, which is the police force. So permit me to be very pessimistic or cynical. Because if you could even recall, when the president made that direct during the security summit, giving that emergency summit on security, initially he just said removal of VIP police personnel from security. Then later he now put on a proviso, a caveat again, that if for any reason there should be a removal of police, or rather you being attached to what's it called, police personnel to a VIP, they must take clearance from him. So why the caveat? It should be holistic.
Okay,
now there's another school of thought. You heard the Nobel laureate the other day was talking about how Sheikh Tinubu, with
over 15 armed
that could quell an insurrection. So you see, we are not being serious in this country. We just talk, and there is nothing we can do about it.
Yes,
until the real issues are dealt with.
Yes, the real issues need to be there. Jude, let's get your opinion before I delve into the critique of issues.
Well, for me, I think firstly, I want to commend the president for making that decision, because this is like, what does it say? All the decisions are coming from IGPs, and now let's see what the president will do. He has given the order that the VIPs should, the police guidance escorts should be withdrawn, and after making that order, about 3 days later, about 11,300 something police officers were withdrawn from VIPs across Nigeria. And that's something that we should applaud him for. It has never happened in a long time. But however, my question would be, you've withdrawn them, how much have they done to ensure security for the ordinary Nigerian? It's not about withdrawal, it's about architecture. What have you done to equip them to really go out and, of course, quell the insurrection across the nation, especially come from bandits and all that. For me, the president, yes, you talked about the proviso, the caveat rather he talked about that for those who want escorts, they should clear for him. It therefore means his cronies will also get escorts as it stands, and that's for me
I
not
totally,
good enough. Not good enough.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That's why I have an issue. The caveat shouldn't have come in.
And I also hear that
the same scenario.
I also hear that he also said for those whose police escort have been withdrawn, they should be replaced by NSCDC.
That is another big mistake.
officials.
That is another big mistake.
And of course, the DSS should also work to see how they can provide security for these people. And it's actually laughable, Mwanzi, because
It's more than
I was
laughable.
looking
It's
at,
a mockery of the statement.
I was looking at some other countries. I doubt if there's any country where you're going to see
the FBI, United States, maybe
You know,
the FBI escorting
one
Secret
individual,
service.
Secret
Yeah.
Service
Yeah.
protecting. I mean,
when you're not the state,
the governor of Chicago or
Yes.
the governor of Illinois.
Yeah.
I mean, now let's look at the critical issues. I'm going to start with you, Comrade Mwanzi. We're talking about the caveat. I mean, that is the underlying fallacy about the pronouncement.
Yes.
I say it fallacy because you cannot make this kind of pronouncement and have a caveat. So now, what are those things you think would make this policy unimplementable vis-a-vis with the pronouncement of this caveat, saying this Nigerian Civil Defense Corps should come in, DSS should assist? I mean, are the lives of the VIPs much more important than the lives of the general, the popular, the generality of Nigerians?
That's a rhetorical question, but because you know that the lives of everybody matters.
Of course.
And who are these VIPs, like you said? Going through them, all these contractors, foreign contractors. All this man who has, somebody who has a white skin, is a contractor of one of these companies, is a VIP. All these, what they call them now, all these expatriates and the rest of them, they're all VIPs. Money misroad, all these business moguls, they are the VIPs. But we'll fail to understand that Section 14, subsection 2B, I would always quote it copiously because it's very dear to my heart. And I say, any government official, whether at the national or subnational, who fails to adhere to Section 14, subsection 2B, has no business in government. It is the security and welfare of Nigerians. So I complain about
How many of them know
issues.
about Section 14, subsection 2B
I wouldn't know
of the Constitution?
I wouldn't know.
How many
know
politicians know?
So the point now is that it is so laughable. We're even looking at the police is an institution that should be recognized and should be respected. Do you know it has gotten to the level that the police has now turned house boy, most of them carry handbags. Some of them are domestic staff. So tell me, public perception of the Nigerian police has even dropped. Now you are even relegating them. So even the VIP structures or the allocation of VIP structure is even further denigrating the police as an institution. So I am saying one of the reasons why it's not implementable is one, like the president's caveat. If you are going for the queue, go for the complete queue. Don't put any exception to any rule. Because when there's any exception to any rule, people will flout the rule.
Exactly.
They will flout the rule.
Everybody
if you say, I'm saying yes, you see, no member of my family is expected to be given preferential treatment, it starts from your family, that's all. But by the time you now say, if you want to come, you have to pass through me for clearance, that's the beginning of the problem. The issue of NSCDC, they are not properly equipped to be able to handle such situation. Before they go about the bazaar of hiring these police personnel to VIP escort, they should have a rethink. There is no legal regulatory framework. The National Assembly has to come in place. We have a law, the Private Guard Companies Act, that is currently operating. But in this case, you see everybody, every Tom, Dick and Harry being employed as security operatives, even to companies and the rest of them. It shouldn't be. It should be for paramilitary, well-trained, licensed veterans who will handle that. You see, you go to occasions like Beria now, you see the police shooting guns in the air.
Just take a look at what we're seeing on television.
No, these are one of the things we see. You see the police shooting guns in the air.
For a VIP.
Now that's
easy,
This is
it not a mockery?
So what we are saying is,
look at Sheyi Tinubu. Is it bigger than Nigerians?
This is just because he's the son of the president. That's what we're saying. There are people who are even worse than the Sheyi Tinubu that you don't.
As the son of the president,
this is Christmas.
he be a
This is
role
Christmas.
model?
Coming to
No,
Christmas.
I want to tackle this. You made a reference. As
Yes.
the son of the president,
Yes.
don't you think you should be a role model to his father's pronouncement?
Sir, please, I beg to, yeah, I agree. But
Should
the
be a
thing
role
is, we
model.
shouldn't even blame Sheyi Tinubu.
Who should I blame?
We should blame the system itself. That is so handicapped that these
system
they are
controlled by
individuals.
who?
No, I mean
Controlled by his
individuals.
father.
No, hold on now.
I
No,
should
this thing
disagree
started
with you.
even before the Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
I will agree with you.
Yes, so
You see,
why we are
you see,
saying, listen,
okay.
that's why I said, this thing did not start
Look,
today.
I am ashamed that.
But the problem is that successive government have done nothing about it. Only paying lip service. As far as I'm concerned, what the president has just done, people are commenting, he's just playing to the gallery.
that's
My
it.
concern, if you are really serious about this, it should start from your household.
Now,
There should be no exceptions.
let's look at it, Ebe John Good. I mean, what we are watching on our screen right now is a show of shame. As an institution, what do you think is the right way to secure? Here is the president's son. I mean, two Secret Service, for example, is enough. Why this utter display of denigration of the police institution, police as an institution? What's your take? I'm really feeling very down.
Blame, first of all, I would not want to hold this to the law now because at the time this video was on, the father have not made that
Pronouncement.
Are you getting
Okay,
it?
yeah.
And my only joy was that
Wait, sorry to cut you off on this. And at the time, Wole Soyinka saw him at the airport with 15 security
in the hotel.
in the hotel. The father had made a pronouncement.
No.
Yeah.
He had made the father had made a pronouncement. This was like at the time the father saw him in the hotel. I'm sorry. At the time Wole Soyinka saw him in the hotel last week, the father had made the pronouncement.
A week or more before.
Yes, 150%
Okay,
certain.
I'm not sure of that.
Okay,
But
let's
my
get your
only joy
opinion. Yeah.
was that the revelation of this Sheyi security, our attention to it,
Drawn to
was called by the father's best friend. I believe that Wole Soyinka is one of the persons.
Yes.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Wole Soyinka, Bisi Akande, Oshomole, one of the persons that Bola Ahmed Tinubu listened to, are you getting me, and respect in this country. So it was Wole Soyinka that revealed it, and if you listen to Wole Soyinka, he said he also called Nuhu Ribadu,
Yes.
who said he was with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It means Nuhu Ribadu must have also informed
Mr. President.
Mr. President, this is what your Egbon called me to see. Are you getting me? So I love that particular aspect. Now come to it. I agree. Sheyi is the first family, one of the first son of the country, so he will be protected, but not to this level. Are you going to tell me that the father authorized this? The Inspector General, the institutions in Nigeria are not working. Our major problem is the institutions are not working. Remi does not even have that convoy. Remi Tinubu, a former senator, 3-time senator, does not even have that convoy of this Sheyi. Just check. Remi do come to Sabata to time. Remi does not have that convoy. Remi does not have that, what do you call it? That security.
Attachment.
The problem is, I still blame it on the institutions are not working in this country. I was working in government.
I was.
Governor want to go to Okai place. Some just what do you call them?
I said
Hustlers. Are you
sacrifice.
getting me? Want to identify with the governor, the president's son. Are you getting me? If you check a governor's son,
Thank you. Because
You're getting
I
me.
was going to.
Just
go-
check
But it shows that there is a problem. That's why I said there is a problem. It's an institutional problem.
It's still apart
The
from that problem.
governor's son was at the funeral in one of these Ijaw regions,
Apart from
the Tansita's mother-in-law's funeral, and you could see the attitude of our security.
this very wrong. The security person, they are nuisance.
Can I ask you a question? Do you know the first son of Putin, the president of Russia? The first son of Donald Trump, the president of the United States? The first son of Macron, the president of France?
He doesn't have a
The
chance.
let's assume, okay,
Nobody
I'm
knows.
going somewhere.
Yeah,
What I am saying in
Yes.
all this, these
We
are
don't know your
bigger
family members.
democracies. So why is it that these men have not disrespected their own democracy?
Let me even tell you
what
one of the reasons. I think
Yeah.
you were trying to say that. If your hands are clean,
God
Exactly.
bless
You are not
I
afraid.
said it.
Yeah.
see,
How
let me
will
tell
move
you.
with God,
See, let me tell you. You just said something now.
Listen.
Not only in this administration, I've seen
Listen.
other administration of Ifeanyi Okowa, some commissioners,
They
not
do-
police
they do-
escort. See, if your hands are
Clean.
clean,
You don't need
you will
them.
not be afraid of anybody.
Ah.
The truth of the matter is that because of what they have done in the public, They are always afraid of
their shadows.
As far as I'm concerned.
Okay, let's move on.
Because if you provide for the people, nobody, you won't be afraid that they will stone you or attack you.
All right, let's move on. Let's look critically at the pronouncement of the removal of VIP of police personnel from the VIPs, because and if you look at our narrative, is we're looking at whether it's a reality or it's a myth. Now, considering all we have discussed so far, it looks like this has not been the first time. It will sound more like a myth. But then, this pronouncement coming from the CAC, the Commander-in-Chief, CIC, and how realistic, I want to hear individual opinions, how realistic do you think and how viable is the implementation of this Commander-in-Chief's, Mr. President's pronouncement on the removal of VIPs? Is it going to be possible to get remove all the police escorts from the VIPs? What about church, what do they call them? What do they call their leaders again? Fathers, GOs, church GOs. What about expatriates? What about traditional rulers? What about so-called business executives, CEOs of conglomerates? Let's be realistic. Give a critical analysis of whether it's going to be a reality, it's going to be a myth.
Well, let me even answer this. That's why I said I talk about legal and regulatory framework on one side. Another thing is implementation of those laws. You know, we have beautiful laws in this country. So many. I mean, most of us don't even know we have some laws in this country.
But
we have all the
laws. I am telling you, like you said about Section 14(2)(b).
Yes.
Most people do not even know provisions of certain sections because they are not even workable. Now, do you realize there's also a time we had that law about the use of sirens? That there are certain persons the law empowers for sirens to be used. But you and I can tell, even within this Asaba metropolis, that you see every Tom, Dick and Harry
the driver go and buy fuel
would use a siren to be disturbing the peace of our environment, which is not supposed to be so. Other than the president, the governor, and probably the president of the Senate and the speaker, than the speaker.
And of course, the medical,
emergency,
which is for emergency
situations.
But you and I know how it has been abused.
Drivers.
So it is the same thing that applies to this issue of the police personnel. And like I told you, it's a carryover effect from the military era. The military came and bastardized the police. That was when the police was supposed to be at their peak. But the boys in khaki came and destroyed police as an institution.
Can I try caveat so that before you move on?
Yes.
Now, he said the boys in khaki came and destroyed the police.
Yes.
Now, can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Now, can somebody come and destroy you as you're growing up, for example, without your consent or without you agreeing to?
Let me explain what I mean by that. I don't mean the soldiers rank and file.
Yeah.
You know for how many years we were ruled by the military.
Okay,
the military were totally in charge.
Yes,
the police was crippled.
Yes, crippled.
I'm trying to tell you that. So they are suffering from a carryover effect. Now, let's be fair. The police is understaffed, like I told you.
Very low morale.
2 is underfunded. Most of the things we're talking about, if the police tells you their story of how they don't have what it takes to be able to run a police unit and the rest of them, you begin to cry. And that is why they resort to self-help. And they like, how do they do now? They trade their services.
They buy their own uniforms.
Bullets. Have you seen the certain police tell you they don't have bullets?
Get their own uniforms.
So it is a fundamental flaw.
We're going to look at the probable solutions. Let's get your opinion a bit.
Okay, but before Jenny, I still want to align with him when he says the khaki boys came and bastardized the police.
Yes, we're trying to.
Because I could remember a story written by then police PPRO. Who said that the army, other than drinking soup, beer, and planning cool, naughty earth, and I remember how he was dealt with. Now, move to the particular issue. Yes, it's a reality. Why we say it's a reality is that the problem we have that most of the police officers, police top boss, they use this VIP escort as business.
Yes.
Do you know how much they pay per one person?
It's commercial.
And they have the money to pay for it. But its removal is also an advantage to us, to the public. Now, we expect the police to, sometimes when you call police as you have a challenge, you say no manpower.
No money for fuel.
In Abuja, I saw vigilante escorting vehicle. And somebody was saying, police don't give una, Tinubu don't give una power. They don't withdraw police from escort and getting me. So now vigilante are now escorting vehicle. We laugh at it, but as I was going in that vehicle, I begin to reason, okay, this is not business for vigilante now. Who cannot get police? Recently, there's somebody called me that I should please link you with anybody in the civil defense that they need police escort around, they need security escort around here. And I look at it. Well, back to the question, was it you that asked the question or Henry? That, okay, no, it was Jude, that the police they withdraw now, what use have they been to the masses? We've not really seen their effects. So, what I would say is reality. I also have a challenge because of the provision of the caveat of the president. Because people will not dive at that to get different excuses. And many commissioners of police will not relax this thing. If your own church overseer now say you withdraw your maybe you attend one of these big churches and you have deployed police escort to that particular person. Now president say withdraw, you withdraw them. The man will call you, even to me. Then the next you begin to see some policemen wearing suits, just dress well. Are you getting with pistol inside?
They won't be on their uniform.
No, there could not be uniformity. I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, you have a point there, but let's look at
so yeah, and maybe when you're trying to jump, they will just get close to you.
Yes, Comrade Jude, I want to relate my next question to the caveat. Now, looking critically, if Mr. President truly means well with the pronouncement of the removal of VIPs, and let's assume he's giving a caveat, they would, why not list the conditions that would make you qualify to get the VIPs with that caveat? That's where they should.
I
think conditions were there before. I think they said when you have maybe threat to death or special threat.
The whole Nigerians, we all have threat to death. I need security. I need security. You all have threat to death. So you see where you started from. The four of us here need security if it's basically about threat to death.
Let's get what community.
No.
That statement is very laughable.
No,
who is not threatened?
No. I want Abel Jongo to tell us because the first one
no, we'll take a long. Let's hear what community has.
Okay, let's hear you.
I'm already threatening the studio.
For me, the president, I think he means well. Okay. You know, because it takes courage and boldness to make such pronouncement. But then, when you talk about, I think where he missed it is the fact that caveat, if you need security, it gets clearance from me. It shouldn't be so. We talked about bigger democracies. You know, if you need security people, you go for your own security.
Private security.
Your private security. You go to private security firm and say, give me security. And of course, that private security firm must get the clearance from the police. They must be licensed, and that's the clearance we're talking about. They must have that. But it's a situation where you say, like I said, eventually you find out that only his cronies, so to speak, will eventually have police escorts. And that will also cause a lot of problem and bad blood in the system.
And there will be heavy corruption.
Not
everybody can get access to him. They will not pass through his boys. Be getting that clearance from
and they'll get fake clearances from the president. So we know the country we are in. So we must tell ourselves the truth. Yes. I think what the president should do is remove that caveat. Nobody. Everybody must go as you are. You know, no VI, no escort, and all that. If you do that, you know, like John God, you mentioned one or two people you know in the system who don't go with escorts. You talked about Charles and I've known him for years. I've known him for 20 years.
She's never had.
I also worked with some of
a lot of the present
even when the president was governor, I've never seen his commissioner with escort once.
Yes.
I started seeing escort when I came here.
You know, like I thought Ederson Gwozi, when I was working with him, he said, I don't need police.
To do what?
My people know me, I know my people.
Some of the members of the State House of Assembly, majority of them don't have.
So
many of them do not have security.
Everything was in my mind.
Yes, Emetulu never had.
I think this
so we are faced with a fundamental issue.
The issue, Meshach, is like Jogo said, if you do it for your community, nobody.
And that is the joy some of them
because some of them too, you know, they are scared of going to the community.
Yes.
And
They can't,
when you
yes.
get into a community, many people come near you. So you say, security people.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm not campaigning, but let me just tell you, I've seen where a lawmaker, sitting federal lawmaker, was stopped in a community.
Okay.
Bridget Ayafulu came there and they said, because of you, we're allowing this.
Okay.
Simple.
Yes.
So what does that
Bridget
tell you?
Yes.
This is what you
She
are
doesn't even go
That's-
with
that's
that's
all.
covered
Police
with
escort.
escort. So
They
what are
now
we saying?
free a federal
Now-
lawmaker because of Bridget Ayafulu.
Can I ask you a question now?
Remember, we are still
Let's
out
look
of
at
time.
let's look at the pronouncement, the indictment of this administration by the pronouncement of Mr. President. I'm going to use this narrative that if you need security, then you should get clearance from me. That means
Through the
it's
IGP.
through the IGP. That means that is an admittance of the lack of capacity of this administration to provide security. Because for me, that pronouncement is unnecessary. Every Nigerian needs security. What's your take on that pronouncement? Because for me, every Nigerian needs security.
The caveat is uncalled for. At least to make mockery of his declaration. I'm telling you the truth. Because you just have to remove it. Otherwise, people will see that as a serious person that's not ready. All those of us that have seen it as a step in combating insecurity in this country will now begin to see when people will not take advantage of that caveat, which people are actually going to take advantage of.
Let's look at
So,
look at-
Babashak, sorry,
yes.
we talked about reality and myth. I think the caveat, without the caveat, this pronouncement would have been a reality.
Exactly.
But
So
right now,
with the
for
caveat,
me, with the caveat,
it's a myth.
it's a myth. Because I was listening to someone, I don't intend to mention the person's name, and they said, our God don't tell us, say, he could feel release, give us, say, but we could go down.
See?
That's
That's
the
Nigeria
thing.
for
That's
you.
the thing.
That's what I told you.
You're talking about changing from their uniform to
Uniform,
wearing
yeah.
suits.
So that's what we
So-
said.
so-
Yeah,
It's still
I-
more of the same thing. They just-
So it's more of the same
yeah,
thing,
they just,
because a myth.
become a
Because
covert
they must
strategy.
Covert.
The
yes.
VIPs want to be sure that whether you're putting on uniform or you're putting on civilian clothes, you have a weapon that will give them the
Yes,
self-assurance that they are
Yes,
secure.
Yes.
Well, I think the whole thing, like Comrade Boyeke said something, the thing is very simple. If you need security as a private citizen, it should be such a way, like I said, we have the Private Security Companies Act, an act of the National Assembly for that matter, where private companies can hire out people who have
Well-trained.
paramilitary experience, who are veterans, maybe probably military men, employ them, hire them to guide you. We are stretched thin as it stands. I told you now, the population of Nigeria is about 200 million as at, they've not done another census, that's what they keep telling us, over 200 million. And we have a situation whereby the Nigerian police is about 30,000 to 40,000. We need about 30,000 more to be able to police.
70,000 more.
Good, will not be able to even police the population, because what we have now is a ratio of 1 to about 700 to 1,000, for a citizen, or for a police to about 700 or to 1,000 citizens.
How will one
And even the
police
United Nations,
that number of people?
and even United Nations standard is even very, very tricky, 1 to 400.
If you
One
remember,
place.
if you remember the cries
So-
of Umba, the former governor of
Mbadinuju.
He said they were what they were asking me in the reason he brought Bakassi. He said there was no police to fight insecurity.
Security.
So
Crime.
now, but when there was no police to fight insecurity, one man was referring to one particular ship, I think the maker of we come to Anambra with 33 convoy.
So that's what we're saying.
Escort. That was
Vehicles, yeah.
So where are we going?
So I think what the government should actually do, yes, about 11,000 plus have been withdrawn.
Yeah.
See to it that these police are given reorientation, because let me tell you,
redeployed.
it's not, yes, before redeployment they have to
I
Yes,
love
so
that
now-
language.
yeah.
Orientation.
No, Ross,
mentality of free money.
Yes, free
oh my
food,
goodness,
yeah.
don't
the
even go there.
comfort living in
These guys are
luxury.
living
Some-
So
well.
they are no longer police
Okay,
there.
No,
can
no.
I shock
Don't you see
you?
the way- don't you see
Can
the way
I
they are?
shock you? Can I shock you?
Yeah.
I have a friend. He's a billionaire. He comes to this town.
So you won't have a friend that's a billionaire now, and
But I'm suffering myself. I'm suffering. Let me tell you, all he invites me, I'm coming, I'm taking us somewhere.
Yes.
All he invites me is to come over to Eloma's Hotel,
Oh, that's what they
buffet,
do.
buffet time.
Yes, yes.
Now, I was shocked. He takes the presidential suit in the 4th floor. Now, he comes with two. If you see the security men, you love to join.
Well-fed.
They're well-fed. And what a contradiction. 2 of them stay in one room in the presidential suite, the other room. two stay this one. And you know the funny thing, he flies them from Abuja with himself. One man, two security. He has in Abuja. Yes, he has in Abuja. These two fly with him from Abuja to Asaba. They stay with him in a presidential suite. He stays in one of the rooms. The two of them stay in the other room. They eat with us during buffet. They eat everywhere we go. So I was beginning to wonder. Nigeria has a lot of billionaires. So I want to ask a very important, critical question. What defines a VIP? Who is a VIP? Because I have seen organ harvesters celebrated, and when they are called, that's when we know they were organ harvesters. And before then, they were VIPs. I've seen kidnappers. It's only after they were caught that we found out
drug traffickers.
So who truly is a VIP? Then what is the trajectory of evaluation that allows the police? How does the police evaluate somebody and confirms that this person truly is under a security threat and truly needs a police protection?
Okay.
Sorry, John. Let me come in straight here. We have Yahoo boys in Nigeria. They are VIPs. They have money.
No.
Hold on. I'm trying to define what is
Nigerian balance.
Nigerian balance. But in this case,
John God, do you have a VIP?
He doesn't have a VIP status.
Do you have a police escort?
He doesn't have
and I don't need it.
You don't have plenty money.
He's not a VIP.
But if you have plenty money, but this will beg you to become a
You're not a VIP.
So the truth is, we talk about the system, and for me, it's been bastardized.
Yes.
As long as you have some money in your account, whatever amount.
Money to throw around.
The funny thing is, nobody wants to know how you got that money.
The police.
So as long as you have a lot of money in your bank account and you throw around, you have police escorts. You automatically become a VIP, very important personality. Whether you are an organ harvester, you are a murderer, you are a kidnapper, you are a drug cartel leader, whatever. You are even those in the offices, in the political class. As long as you have a lot of money to throw around, you are a VIP. And it's for me that we should have a line to really define. For me, because if I talked about the Yahoo boys, for example, he goes in there, does his presses, and does his Yahoo plus or whatever, and he comes out with 50 million or 200 million naira, and a 16-year-old boy, you see him walking around with 5-6 police officers, automatically say VIP.
At all.
Hold on. I'm talking about in Nigerian parlance. I cannot ask myself now. I cannot go to the police station to say I need police.
That is all intellectual.
I don't have the resources.
The reality of what we are seeing, what we call a VIP.
So that's
people that have unexplainable wealth.
I think it's that's why I say it's a fundamental error. Let me tell you, I think I want to agree with what he was trying to say. Before we come to the Nigerian factor, the word VIP, the term, need to be properly streamlined
and understood.
Streamlined. If you say this person is a VIP, what makes you get a VIP status?
Yes.
The VIP status is supposed to be persons of special interest who have power, certain positions.
Yes.
When we talk about what they call this thing among
you have plenty money.
Yeah, that is a Nigerian factor, which is not supposed to be so.
Exactly.
The money is not supposed to be so.
The president,
the position you hold.
Senior president.
The position you hold matters, and that is why when you leave such office, you become a private citizen. So no, they won't use taxpayers' money to fund you. It is now you that should now request for such. But in this case, like you said, the Nigerian parliament, which is a misnomer,
it is.
That any Tom, Dick and Harry, as long as you have money to throw away, become a VIP. It's not supposed to be so. The VIP is supposed to be limited to a special. So where we can get it right is that there should be a legal and regulatory framework to be able to determine who is a VIP, who has a VIP status. Two, the Nigerian police has to be well equipped
and retrained.
Even those ones that are withdrawing, they will be a menace if they are not properly, because you don't chop for broken plate. That's what I'm saying. So those things have to be taken care of. Because if those things are not properly taken care of, there will be insurrection, rebellion among you've seen what has happened in the rank and file. So they have to be adequately taken care of. More personnel need to be brought into the system. Then empower these security guards to ensure that you have trained personnel who are veterans, who have paramilitary experience, to be able to take care of those other persons who need this thing. And leave the Nigerian police for the entire citizenry that has been stretched thin. If we don't do that, we're wasting our time. I'm just telling you that the president directive, after some time, to fall like a pack of cards.
When you're calling some time, you're talking about so much time. Now, let's get your opinion, John Good. Let's look at the situation.
Well, my opinion is very simple. The Constitution specifies who is a VIP. Now, when you talk about individually, please, the Wole Soyinka that reveals Sheyi's security status, have you seen Wole Soyinka with a VIP, a police escort, even SSS?
Now, look,
You cannot see him.
It's
Define it.
But it's a VIP.
However,
But it's a VIP.
Yes,
It's
yes.
a double right. It's a
Yes,
double
because are you going to
benefit
hurt him?
of
Even
doubt.
if you kidnap him,
For
where are
the
you going to keep
benefit
him?
of doubt,
If you
earlier
kidnap someone
today,
that
we are
was
in
there, where are you going
Delta
to keep him?
State.
Are you
We're
getting
in
me?
Delta State.
Yes,
Earlier
yes.
today, the Commissioner of Police, Delta State, had a press conference talking about Lufemi Abaniwanda. They had a press conference. Please, can we have the clips of that press conference? Let's hear his take on the issue as it concerns Delta, because we're in Delta State. I don't intend living outside Delta State for now, so let's hear
And
his
I
take.
think you have to bring a situation. Maybe they have this kind of conversation. You have the force police
Yeah.
PRO,
I think we need to bring Bright Edafe
to
to
come
the
and
studio.
give
This
us
kind of place.
insight into
Personally,
what
what
the Delta
the
State
personally
government doing here.
Of compliance. I would like to say this. In my language, my people says the king gives directives. He does not. When the president commander in chief has given his instruction, and that instruction has been passed down by the number one security person in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, our IGP Olika Odebeto. What do you think should happen? I want you to go to our airport. I want you to go to the roads. Rather than asking us whether there's compliance, we are arresting people who are some concealed, transversing our states. That's why I say concealed, so that we don't wash our dirty linen in public. And again, the IGP has graciously sent an officer from his monitoring unit to every state of the Federation to monitor compliance. Believe you me, in Delta State Police Command, we are doing our compliance at more than 100%. That is the way we show loyalty to our bosses and to our system. Hey, Oga.
All right, we've heard the police, number one police officer in Delta State, Lufemi Abaniwanda, talking about the issues basically. But let's close up 1 minute each. Let's just round up with the situation. Judge, please, just 20 seconds, please.
Well, for me, like I said earlier, the president should remove that caveat, and of course, like he said, every one of the VIPs and escorts should be withdrawn with immediate effect. That has been done, and this issue of having permission coming from him again should be jettisoned.
All right, thanks very much, and I guess that's much time to let us on this very, very wonderful program with the faculty. It's a public affairs program in Delta Broadcasting Service every weekday. On today's faculty, we've had a swell discussion on the removal of police escorts from VIPs. Is it a reality or a myth? I've had three very wonderful men to discuss that, throw light on that one topic with me today in the studio. I want to say a very big thank you to Comrade Abel John Good. Thanks for coming on the program. Comrade Aaron Wanze, thanks for coming on the
Thanks
program.
for having me.
And of course, Comrade Jude Agweke, thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
The faculty returns to our studio again tomorrow. To stay tuned. Good afternoon.